Okay, so there he is, the Black Lion of Voltron. Hopefully Matty Collector fixed all these issues. Most likely not. I'm going to cross my fingers though and hope that they did. Yeah, he's menacing. He's big. I will admit that. He's the size of a small kitten. You know, probably a teenager, if you want to say. Kitty cat. I don't know what they call kitty cats that are teenagers, but yeah, he's big and menacing. So, and there's some little extra pieces in this, like, box thingy, whatever you want to call it. So, anyway, if you got the first ever Sven character with it, and also Keith. What came in the box also with Sven was this little like insert which just says "Let's go Voltron Force," and then a cool picture of Voltron. Wish there was that, you know, cool this on there. Whoops, and then that fell. Yeah, but that's probably, you know, about it. So let's open them up. Okay, so there is Black Lion with his extra little pieces that he comes with. Now, you do get a second clear, what do you call it? Clear hoobie-doobie stand for a sword, and they give you a full-size sword. Now, trust me, this thing is huge. I mean, I could use it too and beat somebody with it. Yeah. Matty Collector. Here's a problem with this. Again, with the shoddy paint, you know, on the crest of this guard. Actually, this one's a little bit better. And I thought I could maybe change it, but there's a different style to the piece than what they give you here. So, yeah, I just said screw it. And the other thing I noticed is this is more glossier than this. This seems more flatter. But either way, you know. And the buttons are bigger. So this looks like a complete different mold. Alright, so yeah, this is the sword. And as you can see, it's a good, this thing is humongous. Besides some spurs right there. I don't remember that. And yeah, otherwise everything else looks pretty good. Well, you got some nicking down here. Speaking of nicking, teeny little nick right there. But yeah, that's cool. I'll put this on the display and just have this standing in front of the Voltron. Now, you also get, let me move this over, and he just does not want to stand right. You get a shield, and the sucker's huge, you know. We had some, but they had, it seems like they had some mold issues because it's rubber, so it's really flimsy. I mean, it's really, so nobody gets hurt. But you can just, I don't know if you can see that. It's like really like derpy looking. So yeah, there. You can see this side in the shadow, but the rest of them are okay. So I don't know. But the paint apps on this ain't too bad. I don't really see too much. Some of the arrows you can tell if you look at them long enough that the paint is, it matches, but the design don't match. Like this one's a little bit smaller and this one's bigger, yada yada yada. But yeah, it's big. Handle, so you can switch it around in either hand. He can hold it this way, that way, you know. But yes, huge. So, what do we find on the Black Lion? Oh, a lot. Same issues. First off, it took me forever just to try to get this back in. It popped off because they put a plastic cover over top. So this plastic cover that goes over top, actually there's a hole that slides across this. The hole's so damn tight that when you pull it up to here, it just rips his tail right off. and it took me forever to get it back in. Yeah. Lots of articulation, you know. Really crackety crack, crack, crack. So, I mean, he does have some articulation here. And it's all ratchet joint. And I know he's huge. I can barely get him in this shot. But, you know. And then I noticed this. If you can see it in a light, like this is some kind of oil they put on him. But that's the only other thing that I have an issue. The chest piece ain't too bad. That ain't too bad. But, I mean, there were some, you know, paint apps. He has a dot right here, which looks like, that looks like a mold defect. Like there's a little hole. I'm pulling it away from the camera. So he has that on his head. Painted, you know, the paint apps across his shoulders, you know, these red pads, they're not seamless. They're not consistent, you know. Lots of burrs from, you know, them cutting it, you know. So, I mean, otherwise than that, I'm afraid to see what the heck this is going to be. Hold on, I'm going to open her. I'm opening her. Oh, God, there she goes. Alright, so how derpy are the stickers here? Okay. And we're not going to be able to see it. Unless I take my camera off. Okay. That isn't too bad. So, the console doesn't look too bad. It looks pretty straight. So the console looks pretty straight. The side looks pretty straight. No, it's crooked. And it looks like some of that oil got on it too. Come on, focus. Focus, focus, focus. See that blackness? Oh my God. Yeah, they put some kind of oil all over him. Like, I don't know why it's there. Yeah, I don't like the whole idea of this. Yeah, it's like a black oil. Almost. Like the oil dripped into there. Because you can really see it on his neck. There. See that glare? This is like an oil. See, I just rubbed it. So they like put an oil or something, and if I bend his head down, you can see it in the blue too. Very vaguely, but yeah, some kind of oil. You can see how the stickers are really derpy. But I mean, you know what? I've been thinking about it, and you know, this is going to be closed up, but still, $800. I mean, $800. I'm sorry, $300. You know, guys, we could have done a better job. Oh well, but yeah, nah, I mean, he's not too bad. I mean, he's humongous. I give him that. He's just humongous, and I'm just crossing my fingers that this thing is sturdy when you put it all together and it doesn't fall out. So I mean, yeah, some of it just, you know, it's just depressing. Some of the first of the runs of the Lions were just really depressing, and you're just looking at my cabinet. But there's him. And as you can see, his weight is so big that he's just falling. Yay. Alright. Well, let me get Keith out, and I'll show you Keith. Okay, so here's Keith. And I didn't really find too much until I looked at that. His belt just looked really derpy. Like, they really screwed up the paint on this. Let me just bring this up so we can get a good shot. But as you can see, it just, damn it, camera, is like, it's blobbed here, it's blobbed here. It just looks messy. as I said, I don't... Oh, there we go. I have not the greatest camera, but you can see it's like there's a little teeny blob there. The paint is really... If you look at the shine while I'm going across, you can see how sloppy it was put on. Again, the chest emblem is a little off register. You know, I mean, as I said, $15 a figure, and we're supposed to be okay with this. The legs were dirty, and they still have like that dirty look, like this was thrown in the factory a couple times on the floor. And the helmet, yeah, I have glue on the... I have glue around his eye, and the paint is just horrible. But mostly his visor has just paint behind it. Yeah, that's just piss poor sad. Oh, and he also has a negative... come on. He also has like dirt on his cheek. So, I don't know if you guys can see that, but you can see the glue pretty good on the visor at the very end of it here. But yeah, it's just poor quality. But this is going back in the box. So, give me a few minutes and then we're putting them together. As you can see, they give you not just one stand. Oh no, wait, they give you two stands. So you got one stand for this, and then they give you one stand with Princess Allura, and then they give you the other half of the stand with Keith. So, the blazing sword he'll be holding, this one I'll have in front of him. And that's about it. And there are Team Voltron right in front of you. Now, like I said, from this distance, they're very impressive. They look really nice. They look good until you get close up to them. Your eyes just start to pick out all those little boo-boos and uncaring, and, you know. The one thing I did want to show you guys is, yes, there were some problems that with when I started to put this sword together. One thing is, it's very flimsy, okay? It's huge, alright, but it's flimsy. You can hear it. It's flimsy, so you got to be careful. The other thing is, and I have a light here, but you're probably not going to see it. There is a stress mark, or a stress fracture, or whatever. It's starting to stress out, like right in this corner here. So, be careful when you put this on. Now, you think that this thing would all click together. Out of all the pieces, the only one that clicked was this part right here. I heard a big click, and that was it. There was a lot of scratching on this, too. That was the other thing. And there's a lot of marks of chipped paint and just missed paint, you know. But still, from distance, looks great. For a size comparison, this is where a lot of people are going to be pretty wowed. It is big, I give it that. But, you know, like I said, quality is better than quantity. This is the samurai sword that you get for roleplay, and that is the blazing sword. So this thing towers it by probably, I would say, a ½ inch at most, or a ¼ inch. But yeah, like, you can give this to your kids and literally they can be running around like crazy people. But like I said, this is really flimmy. If you are, give them this one, because at least there's only like 2 pieces. But still, the regular one without the blazing sword, without the blaze, is about the same height. The samurai one actually, or the Power Ranger one, just a little bit taller, like about a 1/16 of an inch. So, yeah. But this thing towers it. I mean, literally, this thing is huge. So if you have one of these, pick it up just to get an idea. If you decided not to get the Voltron or you just didn't have the money to get it, pick this up, literally, just if your kid has it, laying down, if your kids are in the Power Rangers. And this is how big the Voltron is, just a little bit bigger. Like I said, probably about that much bigger. So about a 1/4 inch. But yeah, that's pretty neat that they made it that big. So I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go transform them. You're not gonna get no animations or craziness. We've all seen the transformation to them. I'm gonna transform them. Then I'm gonna have to bring the camera back, probably another 2 feet, and then I will go through everything and give my final thoughts on it, because I'm going to have to take it in myself. Alright, I'll be back. Okay, I couldn't help it. So, they're all in their line. They're already set. And, real quick, I'm going to put it together. Now, what they say, this is the problem that I knew was going to happen, because people were complaining about it. So these are supposed to go in all the way, and as usual, popping of joints. Come on, Matty, you could have done better than this. Oh, great. And I'm going to have all of them. Maybe this was a bad idea. Now the red, I know, was giving me a lot of problems. Well, that was a little too easy. Alright, that's 1 click. 2 click. Alright. And then the trick. Wait, I'll get this nice and focused up for everybody. There we go. And here we go. Let's go to the table. Okay. Wow. This is the 3rd time I'm making this video. Reason why? This is a nice figure. This is barely a good figure. There is a lot of issues. One being the piss poor quality control. The other is just for bad design. And 3, the balancing. He's not balanced at all. He likes to fall forward. So you have to have him pose that's going to balance him just perfectly. The one thing is, they give you heel spurs, and then the blue and yellow lion's feet actually go back. I don't want to spin him because of the simple fact that, you know, he's going to fall. If I can, let's see. So, you can see, yeah, see, he's already trying to fall. The feet actually go back so that they become part of the heel spur, and he just still wants to fall, and you can see that I have him bent. The problem is, look at all this space here. Now it's not that much space, and I'm going to bring the camera over because I want to make sure that this is documented. But you can see, and we'll get a light on it. But you can see they made the holes too big, and they push the legs way too far. So, like, the legs are actually, for the Black Lion, are just way too close to the front. And the reason why they made this hole is to accommodate the paw for the Black Lion. But that makes him now top heavy, because all the weight now is getting shifted from here to here. It should have been more balanced. They should have figured out something more different, but they didn't. that's where I was kind of like on the fence when I saw this. The other thing that really kind of bugged me is the 1997 die-cast one and the Masterpiece one that they came out with, the Gold Line one, all completely the same thing. They all went inside the arm. I don't know why they did this, but they decided to go this route so that this, one of his wings, both of the wings would have a little slit in the leg so you can lay them right in there with no problems. He looks great from a distance, and I'm not lying. He looks great. I'm not lying. I'm not kidding. You know, he looks great from a distance. The problem is the minute, see, and then I didn't even touch anything. I just moved. You so much blink and these things snap. He's going right again. So what it is if you want to pose him, you gotta play with him. And then you'll sit here for an hour. Because, I mean, seriously, if I took pictures, the heel spurs are not, I mean, the heel spurs are not even touching the ground. They're not even touching the ground. So, I mean, it's kind of ridiculous that they put them in there. I mean, it's nice that they put them in there, but it's ridiculous that they put them in there because it just doesn't work, you know. He's so forward that he's top heavy and he wants to fall forward. So you just kind of lose on that whole aspect of, hey, it's Voltron, oh no, he's going to fall. So, I mean, putting him in positions is going to be a chore. I don't want a chore with any of my figures, you know. But it seems like Matty Collector has done this. Yeah, with the other thing is, I mean, the sword is off and on, so if you lift his arm a certain height, you have two problems that's going to happen. He's either going to try to fall forward, or this shoulder hinge is not going to, this pivoting is not, it's just going to fall. You know, it's just going to come straight down because this is heavy. It's heavier than the samurai sword that my son has. You know, so yeah, it's the plastic, the rubber, and that's what causes that. You'd probably be better with the non-blazing sword in his hand, but that's all your preference. And I know 90% of us, even myself, want the blazing sword in our hand, in his hand. So some of us don't even want it. I mean, if you really don't want to, if you don't mind, take this weapons out, the shield and that, and he should be perfectly fine. For fast, I'm going to give a fast comparison. So this is what I'm going to show you. Now this is a Shogun Warrior from 79, I think it is. This Shogun Warrior I had until my great aunt caught a hold of it, and she literally took everything off of it because she did not like points, she did not like missiles. So I'm going to slide him over carefully and hope that he doesn't fall. Actually, let me get over here. So, yep, he is falling again. Voltron, he don't even have... See, the problem I think that they should have done, and this is the problem, Matty Collector would have then charged us another $100 for it. They should have placed metal in the legs somewhere. Just a lead weight. Like, this has a lead weight. These have lead weights in them, or metal inside the feet here, just the bases. He stays. He don't fall. He could be forward heavy. If there was something heavy in the feet, I think that the balance would be perfect. And that's the problem with the Matty Voltron, is it doesn't have that balance. So, like I said, I can only give this thing a 6.5. I can't give it any more. It's a nice figure, and that's about it. I would have rather took that $300 and would have purchased a real version, not a real version, but a new version of the old Gaia King Shogun Warrior with all the stuff on. I mean, he's been through a lot. But one more. This is my biggest transformer right as of now. Until next year when Fortress Maximus comes. This is Omega Supreme Cybertron version. And you can just see, he's huge. Big. Comic book. Fanboy and vs. Zombies, #1. He has height on him. This comes up to past his knees. Past the ratchets in his knees. So, I mean, he's huge. He's big. He's not a small guy. But with all the problems that it has and everything, I could only give it a 6.5, and that's it. It's a good figure. That's all I can give it. I don't even, with the piss poor quality control, I've said it a million times, if you're going to make a figure and throw out a $300 bill to it and say that's what you got to pay, then give us something better. Because the quality on this is 1,000 times better than the quality on that with all the mistakes. You don't have bleed over, you don't have piss poor paint apps. That's all I gotta say. So what did I learn about this whole thing? Never buy anything from fucking Matty Collector again. This is Japanophile Rob. I'll see you on the flip side. Ciao. Okay, so as I was opening this for you guys, yeah, the knife slipped and that happened. So, yeah, can't say I don't bleed for you guys.